Well, friends, way to go. We're just smoking through it. It's the 19th of June. Another great discussion. I can't believe all the different posts that we see. Yeah, I think we all agree that we have control. If you do get arthritis, I mean, those of you that are athletes, you play hard, you pay hard, you will have this problem. I remember growing up, there was a movie, a Dustin Hoffman movie I watched called Little Big Man. Classic movie. And there was this guy, Mr. Merriweather, that he encountered all through his adventures. And in The Little Big Man, they document this guy who becomes 100 years old. And throughout his life, he kept running into Mr. Merriweather. And every time he saw Mr. Merriweather, there was a new body part that was missing, or some new part of his body was trashed. It was done in a comical way, though. So anyways. But yeah, so you will develop these disabilities in your joints just from living life to its fullest. And you know, all my friends that are orthopedists, my friend who's a neurologist, they all agree. Whatever you do, don't stop doing what you're doing, because this is the only thing that's keeping you going. Otherwise, you would be severely disabled from things like arthritis. So you just got to keep at it and fight the good fight. So. And you know, the exercise also contributes, as we know, to slowing the progression of Parkinson's and cognitive disability in Alzheimer's. So we're all on board on this, and it's great. But you know, I think we all know this. You know, that the things you can control are the only things that really work as intervention. But it's good to have that underlying knowledge of the disease processes that are in there. Just kind of a interesting side note, because we're going to be going into the lecture today. On Arlene and Molly's lecture on sexuality and vision problems and urinary problems. But the Parkinson's patients, one of the outcomes when they get too far gone on their therapy is they blow right by the age-related decline in sexuality. They become hypersexual, and they tend to engage in very risky behaviors. And it's because you've blown the dopamine way past where it's supposed to be. Okay. Yeah, there are a number of lawsuits for a lot of drug companies that prescribe Cinemet or the dopamine receptor agonists. Pramipexole is the DA agonist, and so yeah, people were losing their houses because they were becoming gamblers at age 70 and 80 years of age, getting AIDS, getting venereal disease because they're out being sex maniacs. So it's kind of interesting on that side. Since we're going to be talking about sex now, okay? Alrighty, so onward. So great job, guys. Oh, by the way, the paper's due today, and I can't wait to read all of them, and I will read each and every one of them. As you can tell, I'm a reader, and it's going to be fun. It sounds like you guys are going to do a good job based on the topics that you submitted to me. Okay, so now we do the vision, urinary, and sexuality. Okay, with the vision things, watch all the videos. Have a basic understanding. This happens to a lot of people. Every one of us become more and more farsighted. Okay, we have these Costco cheaters all over the house and stuff like that. Okay, and then beyond that, if you spend a lot of time outdoors, you're genetically predisposed. Things like cataracts are going to creep in, and it's very common. So understanding the different types of approaches that you can take to that, so you can advise your clients. Cataract removal is pretty straightforward now. They basically ultrasound the lens, blow it up into little bits and pieces, suck it out. It's a process called phacoemulsification, and just put in a new lens, and you're good to go. And then being aware of the more severe diseases, and understanding glaucoma and what's out there. We have lots of good treatments for glaucoma, and macular degeneration not so much. Okay, there's cold laser therapy where you inject a special substance that goes into the blood vessels in the back of the eye. Kale. Okay, it's been agreed upon for 20 years that the best therapy for macular degeneration is green leafy vegetables, really anything with dark pigment in it, both fruits and veggies, blueberries and blackberries and stuff like that. It is what it is, okay? So that's all you can control. Okay, so then we go on to the urinary and sexuality parts, and what I always tell my undergraduates is, and it's true when I'm up there lecturing, On the outside, you see me, Dr. Walsh. I'm sure I look like, I used to say I look like your parents, but now that I'm going to be 59, I say you look like your grandparents. And just because I look like this on the outside, you have to understand, from the inside, I am still that same person, especially when I gained my official identity as an adult. So, you know, that was in my late 20s. I became who I was, you know, and so I will always be that person in here. So, you know, unless I happen to pass by a mirror, I'm going to still have the same sexual drives that a young man had. I may not have the frequency, and they may not have the giddy up, but it's still in there, and you don't change. Okay. In tapping that into urinary problems, if you have problems down there, okay, that are affecting your urinary system, is going to affect your sexuality as well. And plus, a lot of things that we've gone over in class. We went through heart disease, vascular disease. So when you're taking antihypertensive medication, you're just not going to have the hypertension that you need to perform sexually as a male. So, so yeah, there's always going to be a downside. A lot of the drugs that people have. Okay, but the flip side is we have a drug that enhances male performance, and that's outside the market. So that's keeping couples going for a long, long time. And there's, you know, nothing wrong with that. Not that I would know anything about it, but it's all good. Okay. All right, guys. Take care, and we'll see you next time.